Hey folks, just wanted to quickly tell you that I've just started putting out Zelda shorts on Instagram Reels, TikTok, and of course, here on YouTube. Be sure to follow my socials linked below to help support my work and grow the Zelda short series. I really want it to work. And I'll be dropping a few every single week, so please check them out and help your boy out. Thanks, and now onto the video. Prior to the events of Breath of the Wild 100 years ago, the kingdom was struck with a devastating blow, the Great Calamity. A malicious, ruthless massacre of the kingdom, wiping out the majority of the population and leaving a scar of ruins across the land to remind us of the damage done all those years ago. Whilst these events are more of a story to those of the current generation, with nearly nobody currently alive also being alive during the events of the Calamity, some of the tales from these dark days are truly horrifying. The stampede of Castletown, the desolation of the Akala Citadel, the defense of Fort Hayteno, and of course, the falling of the champions. Hyrule's elite warriors stood toe-to-toe with the terrifying Blight Ganons and ultimately failed to defend their ground. But an untold story about these battles is that Revali was actually a huge disadvantage to the rest, and the reason might shock you. So let's talk about that. But first, be sure to go and grab yourself a snack or drink and send them in to get featured right here. Drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already, it really helps the channel out, and let's get into this one. So what was the situation of each of the four champions? Well, we don't see any of these fights in Breath of the Wild, but we do get some footage in Age of Calamity, and whilst that is an alternative timeline, it'll work good for some visual reference. Each of the four champions stood face to face with these blights, not really knowing what they are, but just knowing that they are out for blood. We even hear the champions saying how they are unsure what's going on and how to beat it. Obviously, in the Age of Calamity timeline, they are successful in beating them, but in terms of Breath of the Wild, the champions fall. Daruk is burnt to a crisp by Fire Blight. Urbosa is shocked out of existence by Thunder Blight. Mipha is sushi-fied. I don't know. And of course, Revali is plucked out of the skies by Wind Blight. But all of the champions were in their element, including Revali. How did they all fail, and how did Revali stand a much lesser chance than the rest? Well, this is because the Rito actually have poor night vision. This is confirmed in creating a champion, and we know that these fights took place in the night. Revali couldn't see clearly. Now I do have to credit where I originally found this out. My wonderful girlfriend shared a post on their Instagram to their story. This post right here, explaining the whole situation and giving their interpretation on how the scene would have looked for Revali. This is terrifying. To really visualize it for you, if we go off the fight that Link takes on, this gives us a rough indication as to what Revali faced. But with the lighting down by maybe 70% or more, creating a champion does say that the Rito's night vision is bad. Not slightly poor or a little bit off, bad. They struggle to see well in this environment. So this is roughly what the fight may have looked like, and considering that Wind Blight isn't exactly in neon colours, it would often blend in with the background. Maybe Revali can catch glimpses of light coming off the nightmare, but for the most part, he would be processing where on earth the thing is and requiring longer to process any time it attacks due to the poor vision. When hit, Revali's time to react and dodge may have been only half the time he'd normally have had. Let's look at Link's battle with the boss and dim the lighting to get an idea of how this could have been for Revali. So right off the bat, all that is in favour of Revali is his archery abilities. I would say his ability to fly as well, but so can Wind Blight. Not that he would flee the battle anyway, as this was a last stance battle, life or death. No running away. Revali is a good archer and would likely be able to hit a few decent shots with his bow. However, this would likely be limited due to his vision. I'd imagine in order to get hits on target, he'd also be trying to hear where Wind Blight is. He'd be able to see a little, but that doesn't provide a very accurate target. The real issue comes with Wind Blight's attacks. The tornado, the cannon, and the projectiles. These three key attacks would be manageable if fully visible, but with poor vision, my god. The tornado holds little light to it in the first place. It's basically just enhanced wind coming at Revali, and this could very easily disable him from flight or knock him down around on the ground. Given that Wind Blight can presumably see Revali with ease, this is a huge advantage, as the windswept Revali would constantly be losing his coordination due to being thrown around so much by the mini tornadoes. Then there's Windblight's cannon. This beast shoots incredibly accurate blasts of blue energy. These ferocious shots can deal some serious damage, and given their accuracy and speed, put against the half-blind Revali, he wouldn't see them coming and just be mauled down with ease. And if all of that wasn't horrible enough, just as Revali would be almost down and out, Windblight also has these projectiles to fire at Revali. You know, whenever he does get a moment of luck and can see clearer or maybe dodges with the former mentioned attacks, these lock-on projectiles would stop whatever hope Revali has left in winning this battle. I hate to break it to all of the Revali haters out there, but compared to the other 4 champions, he suffered the worst end imaginable and really went through it all. Beaten, scared, and unable to see Windblight Ganon attack him. This would have been horrible. Maybe now that you know the full terror our feathered friend Revali went through, maybe now you'll have more sympathy for him. Especially if you're not a fan of Revali. Maybe you'll now feel for him a little more. Yeah, sure, he made mistakes with his poor attitude and unnecessary petty aggressiveness towards the other champions, but he tried to fight for the good of Hyrule, but ultimately had a tougher task than the rest. And I know that I've made some Revali jokes over the years, in some cases really putting the guy down. So I wanted to make this video as a sort of apology to Revali fans out there. I dedicate this one to each and every one of you. Our poor little chicken wing. Finger licking what a tragic story. Thanks a ton for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, be sure to drop a like and consider subscribing for more fabulous Zelda content. All jokes aside, I do love Revali as a character, and I am not just saying this because my partner watches all of my videos and would kill me if I said otherwise. No, not at all. Especially not since it is actually our 1 year anniversary as this video goes up. So hey, maybe drop a little congrats comment down below. We'd appreciate it. Also, as mentioned at the very beginning of the video, I just recently started doing YouTube Shorts. I have 2 up at the time of uploading this video and plan to upload them twice a week. Here's a look at my first one to get a little taste of them. Hey folks, Breath of the Wild is filled with lots of different characters, some fun and cheery, others dark and gloomy, but one character that falls somewhere completely off this scale is the lady in Hayteno Village that is glued to this corner of the room. She's often called a weirdo or creepy by players, but do we actually know her story and why she is the way she is? Well, if you ask her, she'll tell us that it makes her feel more confident standing here. Maybe she has some anxiety and being here helps. I don't know, but let's give her some support. Go you! But yeah, I see your guys' point. It's a tad creepy. What do you think the reason is? Let me know in the comments. Drop a like, follow, and check out my YouTube channel for more Zelda content. That's the style. Quick, short, and snappy Zelda videos. It's a fun way to create videos using my ideas that wouldn't really warrant a full-length video like this, but are still worth mentioning or talking about. I'll be covering all sorts of topics and open to suggestions as well, so check them out. Anyway, don't hate me too much, it's all just some fun at the end of the day. As always, a huge special thank you goes out to all of my supporters across Patreon and YouTube. If you'd like to join them and get yourself a shout out upon joining and your name at the end of every video, then consider supporting. Again, thanks for watching, and until the next time, I've been Hyrule Gamer.